is an island prison, home to the most infamous villains that have ever lived. Cruella de Vil, Jafar, the Evil Queen, and Maleficent. Each one has a child that has never left their side until now.
You're gonna be crowned king next month.
I've chosen my first official proclamation. The children of the Isle of the Lost should be given a chance to live here in Ordon.
You four have been chosen to go to a different school, Ordon Prep. What?
I don't do uniforms.
Prissy pink princesses.
They allow dogs.
You are not gonna see me start doing curtsies.
This summer, the next generation of villains arrives. Jay, son of Jafar.
What are you doing?
It's called stealing. It's like buying whatever I want, except it's free.
Evie, daughter of Evil Queen.
Is everybody at home as pretty as you?
I like to think I'm the fairest of them all.
Beauty is paid.
Carlos, son of Cruella de Vil.
This thing is a killer. This is a vicious, rabid pack animal.
Hey, who told you that?
My mother.
And now, daughter of Maleficent. They're at their best when doing their worst.
Beware, forswear, undo Jane's hair.
There's a lot more where that came from. It's all about world domination. What do you think our parents are gonna do if we don't pull this off?
They will be proud of us for doing our best.
Really?
No, I think we are definitely goners.
Disney's Descendants, the Disney Channel movie event of the year on Disney Channel.
I'm sure that was supposed to go a lot smoother, but the two of us came out
Nah,
here
we
not
got
knowing
it.
what we're doing. Thanks for coming, guys.
Hi.
And welcome.
Thank you.
We're talking about Descendants, but I need to know about your hair. Your purple hair is my absolute favorite. I know
Thank
everyone's
you.
looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, I'm obsessed with it. I wish more than anything that it was my natural, actual hair.
Purple?
Yeah.
Just growing out
In
of
the
your
movie,
head.
it's supposed to be natural. She's supposed to have naturally purple hair and purple eyelashes. Like, who does she think she is? So unfair. But it was a wig. But I wish that I could have actually dyed my hair that color.
So we saw a little bit of the preview for Descendants, but I feel like this is every Disney star's, and let's be honest, all of us, dream to live out sort of being a Disney Channel, Disney movie princess or villain. The villains are more fun.
I totally agree. When I first heard that this was happening and this was a thing, well, first of all, I read the entirety of the script before I even knew that I was going to have a chance to audition or for what character, and I became obsessed with it, sort of like a fan, just because, like, I mean, that's amazing. Who doesn't have? I know this sounds cheesy, but like, who doesn't have like the classic Disney stories somewhere like directly right here, right in the middle of their heart? And so I thought that was first of all an amazing opportunity, but also just like so surreal. And I couldn't believe someone hadn't done it yet.
Do you have a classic Disney princess that you loved?
Yeah, I mean all of them. I was really into Ariel, I think.
Well, who wasn't? Come on now. Who
Ariel was
wasn't?
my girl back in the day. And I always hesitate to say that my favorite princesses are the new ones because I know it's like a lot cooler to be like, I like the OG people. But I really love Elsa and Anna and Rapunzel. I like the recent ones because I think they're goofier. I think they're weirder as we as a society get weirder. I think they follow us, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, Cinderella, way too serious.
Way too serious.
Way too serious. But you get the benefit of playing one of the villains, sort of. The villain, the child of the villain in this. How fun was it to work with Kristen Chenoweth?
Amazing.
Who plays Maleficent.
Yeah, she's one of the most amazing people in the world. And everybody's always like, oh, really? But I was obsessed with her when I was only 7 years old. She was like my idol in a way that nobody else was. And Wicked was like my absolute favorite thing to listen to. I wanted to play Galinda. I thought I was Galinda. I actually based one of my characters on another Disney show that I do about twins. I base one of my characters off of her portrayal of Glinda in Wicked. So Disney Channel had to like figure out how they were gonna break the news to me that Kristen was gonna play my mom. They're like, all right, let's think about this strategically. Like, how is she not gonna die?
Did you have a total fangirl moment when you saw her for the first time?
There was a lot of ugly crying going on. It was actually really embarrassing. I was like, she's gonna hate me. Like, she's not gonna want to work with me because I'm crazy. But I love her, and she bettered me as a performer and just as like a human to work with her for as much time as I did.
Speaking of performances, I think you guys, as I look out on this crowd, I know each and every one of you has seen a Disney Channel original movie. See, you're nodding your head. I could go back in the depths of knowledge for like 15 years to Disney Channel original movies that I used to watch. So you know there was always going to be some singing and some dancing. You had some hardcore dancing. How exhausting was that?
Kenny Ortega, who directed, gave us these like huge gift baskets at the beginning of the thing, and they had these massive things of like what is that, Epsom salts? And we were like, why are we gonna need these, Kenny? And at the end of each rehearsal day for this really hardcore opening dance that we had, we could not move. And we would text each other the next morning, we're like, can you get out of bed? Because I'm not gonna. It was crazy. It was really hardcore. And I'd never danced before, and all of these people came out of the womb dancing.
Wait. You don't dance?
No.
You could have fooled me.
Oh, thank you.
No, seriously. You're in these very elaborate, like Broadway type dance numbers. And
Thanks.
how did you I would look like an idiot if that were me.
Some very careful editing.
No,
it was. I mean, we all went to pretty intense boot camp. I think one of the boys said the other day, they're like, oh no, the sit-ups. And I was like, sit-ups? I quite literally forgot half of it. But like every morning, thank you, the one person in the back. Every morning we would go out and do 100 sit-ups, and we'd do this like big warm-up routine. And it would take like an hour to get our bodies fully warmed up before we would even start dance rehearsal. It was super intense.
Meanwhile, the rest of us take a 45-minute gym class twice a week, and we're like, woo, we are done. But that's what you need to do in order to perform the way that you need to perform. Because in this film, you sing, you dance, you act. That's a lot.
Well, yeah, but it's also like that's the dream. I mean, when else are you going to get an opportunity to do that?
True. I mean, you are in the Disney Channel family. You also have a TV show that, because you can never just do one thing, you have to play two roles. You play twins. Yeah. How is filming Liv and Maddie different from filming a Disney Channel original movie?
Well, I was actually just talking to my publicist in the car about this. Like, this is one of my favorite things about my job, is just that it's so inconsistent, because I'm one of those people that, like, when I was younger, I would dye my hair a different color every other month just because I was like, I can't stand to sit still. Like, I'm a little bit off my rocker. But one of my favorite things about my job is that after I do my series for 8 or 9 months, then we sort of have like a little summer break, and then I do a movie, or I start doing music or something like that. So it's an amazing, unnaturally gorgeous balance. But shooting Liv and Maddie is kind of similar to a movie in a lot of ways, because usually series hours are pretty short and kind of 9 to 5-ish. But because we have to do everything twice, it takes a little bit extra time, and so it's sort of more like film hours. But that's my favorite ever. Like, I love being busy. I love not coming home until midnight and then crashing and then waking up really early and like going.
I'm tired just hearing you talk about this. Do you have like a very tricked out dressing room or trailer that you have to have like your home space? Because if I was at work for that many hours, I would need many naps and snacks and a Snuggie.
You know what's funny? Oh, wow, that actually gave me so much room-spiration. I was like, oh, a Snuggie, that does sound nice. No, I'm actually, and this is so sad because I'm so design-oriented, and so I really, when I first heard that I was going to have a dressing room that was going to be like mine, I was like, I'm going to paint it, and then I'm going to put pop art up on the walls, and then like there's going to be like a button you can press, and I'm going to put a microwave in it. And I was really excited, and like a mini fridge was like a goal of mine. And then I'm like never in it, and like I'm probably in my dressing room for like a half an hour throughout the day, and that's probably like when I'm eating lunch. And so my dressing room just kind of looks like It's just like white walls, like
I love that you
couch.
just described like a college dorm.
Yeah.
Like I've got all these dreams for what I want to do and a mini fridge, and then you go in and it's like there's a pillow and a couple of magazines.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm like super stoked that there's like a table in it. I'm like, I can put my feet up. Yeah, no, but I still have big dreams for my dressing room, but it's just, it's kind of not worth it. I spend more time at home, you know?
One of your Liv and Maddie co-stars was at the Descendants premiere on Friday night, and you were pretty cozy on the red carpet.
Oh, for some reason I forgot you were talking about my boyfriend, and I was like, who was that? I was like, the kid who plays my little brother? He's like 11.
I saw the pictures. You two are very, very cute together.
Thank you so much.
How is it working with someone you're dating, though?
Wonderful, actually. Yeah. I don't think that that's necessarily a hard and fast rule, that it has to be difficult. I think it's just sort of like, he's just such a wonderful man. And I say man because he's just one of the most intelligent and far along people that I've met in my life. Which is the only reason I spend so much time around him, because he's gorgeous and lovely, like inside, outside too, but like, but it's really lucky because he's not only a tremendous person, he's also an incredible like working partner, because we have a band together too. So we're kind of doing it all. But yeah, he's really lovely. He definitely elevates me as a person.
Do you feel like you have to manage how much of your relationship you put out to your fans? Because your fans are like voracious with wanting to know everything about you, where you are, what you're doing, what you're wearing, what you put in your hair, the whole nine. So do you have to manage, okay, we'll let them see us out a little bit this week, and maybe we need to just pull it back from the cameras for a little?
No, you know what? I feel like I would lose my mind if I thought about that stuff all the time. I know that we have some fans collectively, and I know that I have a lot of fans who that's still so weird for me. It's still really weird to me that I have fans. But I know that I have a lot of fans who think that our relationship is too much and are like, we don't care, like we get it, you're in love. But then I also know that there are a lot of people that really like it. I don't know. I feel like if I took that into account all the time, I would start to, overthink things and be too in that. I wouldn't be present to what's going on around me. So I just sort of live my life the way that I can to the best of my ability, and like stay in close contact with my fans, because that relationship is incredibly important to me. But it's sort of like a mutual thing. It's like they have their lives, I have mine, and we just sort of like share this cool space together where we both really enjoy each other.
Let's talk about your fans. You know you've made it when your fans have a nickname. The Doveleys were tweeting me today. You have a nickname for your fans. They've grouped together. That has to be kind of a surreal moment.
Completely. Yeah, and it's also just like there's such a sweet, incredibly rare, lovely, precocious, intelligent group of young people. It really means a lot to me how quality they are, and they really they teach me and they elevate me, and I really respect like what they think and what they have to offer me, and their feedback and their interactions. It's a relationship unlike any other. And I think people are used to hearing actors get up on stages and say that about their fans, but it's really true. It's one of the most interesting and rare paradigms that exists.
I can certainly vouch for that, because I tweeted out at them today and you retweeted me, and within 5 seconds I had 700 responses. Bear with me for a second because I lost my paper. Not that I usually go anywhere with notes, but I had to write down some of their questions because they tweeted back so many, and I know all of your fans will be watching. So I want to get to a couple rapid fire Twitter questions. With my high tech, here we are at the internet and I have a paper. Okay, first one. What would be your dream role?
My dream role, Elsa, no, I think Anna on Broadway. I really want to play Anna in the Frozen Broadway incarnation. I would die for that.
Why Anna over Elsa?
Oh, I've thought about this a lot in my life. And
Who hasn't?
It's a really relevant question. I really love Let It Go, and like that's almost worth it to me just because it's an amazing song. But I just like I'm so much more of an Anna. Like I don't know if I could be inward and like sullen and like really think about what I was doing all night long on a stage. Like I have to like run around. I don't know, I just relate to her. She's crazy. But also, I really want to play Galinda in the Wicked movie if that ever happens. I really, really want to do that.
Luckily, I think you'll have Kristen Chenoweth's vote of confidence for you there. All right, next one. What hair products do you use?
Oh,
I'm telling you, a
guys.
few people tweeted me about her hair products. You have gorgeous hair.
Thank you. Honestly, it's more like what I don't do because I don't curl it or straighten it or blow dry it on a daily basis because I'm blonde and it would just be gone at this point if I did. So I put olive oil in it overnight and then I wash it out in the morning
See, that's a great trick.
for some of that shine life.
The
Yeah.
Twitterverse is going to be thrilled. Okay, album release.
Album release?
Many questions about an album release.
Look
Look at that sheepish grin you're giving me.
I can't say anything official about it right now. There's nothing that I know that you guys don't.
Okay.
If that makes you feel any better. And the second I know anything, or if Ryan knows anything, we'll make sure to tell you.
What is your favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show was Pushing Daisies, even though it's off the air now, or Doctor Who.
You are a Kristen Chenoweth fan.
I'm a huge Kristen Chenoweth fan.
Deep down in your core, I love that.
I'm a Kristen Chenoweth freak.
Okay. Instagram versus Twitter.
Instagram.
Okay. Why?
I'm super visual.
All right.
I like taking photos.
Favorite color?
Baby blue. Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah.
Favorite Disney villain?
Maleficent. What am I supposed
Duh.
It's like mutiny.
Okay. What is the significance of your locket?
So my locket, my dad gave me a locket when I was born, the day I was born, and it was like this big. Like it is functional. You can open it, but you can't put anything in it. And it has all my like baby teething marks all over it. And he gave me a new one for my birthday every year. And they got bigger as I got bigger. And so this is my locket from last year.
Oh, that's the most precious thing I have ever. Look, everyone's nodding. Everyone's like, oh, having an absolute moment here. So there were a few questions that I got on social media regarding social media haters. And being in the position that you are in, you have a zillion fans, but I imagine some haters who say hateful things. How do you deal with online bullies, and how do you think your young fans should deal with them in their real life?
One thing that I'm 19, and so there aren't a lot of things that I like truly believe through and through that I think like this is never going to change. This is who I am. You know, that's where it begins and ends. But one thing that I truly believe is that life sort of has this divine balance, and that for every ounce of good, you will get equal parts bad in return, and vice versa. And if that's just sort of an inevitable thing, that's kind of a safe space to live in. You know, it's like it's sort of comforting to know that there's nothing to be done about that. And with all of these amazing highs that come into your life, there are going to be equal lows. But then when you're in those moments of lows, you're going to get an answer to that as well. And also, nobody who is divinely happy and satisfied with their life and every ounce of what they need is being met is going to feel the need to take away from you. That's just a rule. There's nobody who is happy who is going to be trying to bring you down. And so if somebody's trying to bring you down, that's sad. And that's not something to be sad about for you. That's something in them that they can't cope with. And so it shouldn't make you feel bad about yourself. It should make you want to show sympathy and love and acceptance to whoever's lashing out at you. And if they can't be receptive to that, you just ignore it. And thankfully on social media you can block people. But that's just sort of something that I think, it's just sort of a safe thing to know that you can choose to be happy and that there's power behind that.
You mentioned that you're only 19, but talking to you, you are well wise beyond your years. You're very eloquent and well-spoken. Where do you think you get that from and that sort of confidence? Is it having a good support system at home?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I was always encouraged to be that way. I think, there's a lot of things in people, and I'm actually going to bring it back around to Descendants, but there's a lot of things in people that I think is shut down at a young age because they're told that they either can't be that way, they shouldn't be that way, and unfortunately, not every amazing child gets an equally amazing parent. Like, those things are not always linked. And sometimes it's the parents who are shutting their kids down and saying, like, you can't be smarter than me, and so you're not going to be smart at all, and I'm not going to encourage that quality in you. And you know, that's something that actually Descendants touches upon a lot, is that, you know, sort of their parents capping them at a limit and at a minimum, and sort of living vicariously through them, which is one of the most damaging things you can do to your kids. But that's why the kids of the villains are actually not villains at all. They're just misguided. It's like a street dog. You know, you're not. Your mom says, "Oh, don't touch the puppy," you know, because it's lived in the street its whole life. It just doesn't know any better. It's not a bad dog. But I definitely think that everybody is the way that they are because of what's encouraged in them at a young age and what they believe they can be. And so I just sort of think, yeah, I had amazing parents who wanted me to be the best I could be. I don't know.
And I think we can all agree you pretty much are, because you're
Thank
lovely.
you.
Let's turn it
kind
over
thing.
to the crowd. I know you guys have some questions.
Hi.
Hi.
What are the pros and cons of being a Disney celebrity?
Oh, well, pros, I think definitely the amazing platform. I can't think of a better platform in terms of, you know, reaching young people, which is one of the most amazing audiences you can have, is these amazing young minds. That's part of why I was so passionate about being on the Disney Channel. And cons, I suppose there's more pressure. I know I get people asking me about that a lot, but anything that's expected of you on the Disney Channel is something that I truly believe is kind of expected of you societally. Anything that they wouldn't want you to do is something I think you wouldn't want you to do. So I don't really think there are very many cons. I really love the Disney family.
We all took a wrong turn in life. We all should have been Disney stars. You have a question.
Hi, I have a 7-year-old at home who's a huge fan of yours, and she's very excited for the movie on Friday. This question is actually from her, and I don't know if you can answer it, but Liv or Maddie?
Ooh, well, I never auditioned for Liv or Maddie because originally it was a completely different show. This is actually really weird. Hollywood's weird. But basically, I auditioned for one character that was neither twin, and then we filmed the pilot or the first episode, and then they tested it with a bunch of young test audiences, and it came back that we were going to do the show with the same cast, but I was going to be twins now. And so we sort of had to navigate that and figure out who the characters were along the way, so I sort of just split my personality down the middle to make it easier. I know that makes me sound really lazy. Maybe I am. But I have honestly so much in common with both characters.
Right. Do we have time for one more? We do have time. Go ahead.
Hi, Deb. I was just wondering, back to your characters, Liv and Maddie, where do you think they would play a role in Descendants? Like, who would their parents be?
Oh,
interesting. That's such a good question.
I think Maddie would maybe be the daughter of. I think honestly they would be daughters of heroes. But I think Maddie would probably be the daughter of Belle in Beauty and the Beast, just because she loves, she's like generous, and she likes reading, and you know she's really hungry for knowledge. I think probably Belle, and then it probably Liv. I know this sounds like such an obvious cop-out answer, but maybe like the daughter of Sleeping Beauty or something. Maybe Gaston. I don't know. I like Liv. People are so hard on Liv. I don't know. Yeah, I think probably Sleeping Beauty.
I love how we rolled it right back to Descendants again, just as we're closing things up. That was very well played, audience. You're doing my job for me. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us today. And a big thank you to Dove Cameron.
Thank you so much.
And of course, don't forget to check out the new Disney Channel original movie, Descendants, which is out on Friday. I know you're going to be watching it with your daughter. I saw it. It's very funny, so definitely check it out. And thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.